Welcome to this video going through different types of division methods. Now, sometimes children get confused with these, so it's helpful if you do find division a bit of a struggle. We're going to look at lots of different scenarios here involving long division, short division, also looking at dividing by factors as well. So we'll go through these one by one. So first of all, we're going to look at 686 divided by 7. So I would always recommend you use the bus stop method. Whether you use the short method or the long method is entirely up to you. At school for year 6, you will be expected to know the long division method, but for the 11 plus, if you would like to just do the short division method, that's perfectly fine. So we're going to put 686 inside the bus stop and divide by 7. So this is the short division method I'm going to demo here. So 7 will not go into 6, so we're going to carry the 6 over. 7 goes into 68 9 times, and 9 times 7 is 63, so we have 5 to carry over, and 7 goes into 56 8 times. So the answer here would be 98. Now, if you wanted to do this using the long division method, we can do exactly the same thing. We're going to put it in a bus stop, 686 divided by 7. Now 7 will not go into 6. Again, 7 goes into 68 9 times, and 9 times 7 is 63. So we're going to write 63 underneath here, and we're going to take it away. So that's going to leave us with 5. We then bring down the 6, and then we would say 7 goes into 56 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56. Take that away from the 56 and we end up with 0, so we know we've come to the end of our sum. Now, looking at dividing by 15 with this one here, so again I'm going to set it up like a bus stop, and I'll do it both short division and long division. I'm also going to show you how to divide by factors here as well. So we've got 432 and we're dividing by 15. Now, you may not know your 15 times table, and when you're dealing with a number outside of your times tables knowledge, it helps to write the times table down before you start, just so you've got it there for easy reference. Usually if you go to about 5 times the number, that will be enough to get you started. So if I just write here 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. If I need to add to that as I go through the sum, I can. So 15 will not go into 4. 15 goes into 43, 2 times, so it goes in twice, and I would carry 13 across. Now 15 into 132, if I come down here, I'm going to continue on my 15 times table, so we've got 90, 105, 120, and 135. So we've got 15 will go into 132, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and we would have a remainder of 12. So I'm going to put a decimal point in here and a decimal point in here. Add a 0. Remember, you can add zeros after the decimal point because it does not affect the original number, but it does give you somewhere to take your carrying to. So I've got 12 to carry over from here. So if I write that here, I have 120, and 15 goes into 120, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So my answer would be 28.8. Now again, I'm going to demo this using the long division method. So we've got 432 divided by 15. Now 15 will not go into 4. 15 goes into 43 twice. 2 times 15 is 30. So I'm going to take that away, which will leave me with 13. I'm going to bring down the 2. 15 goes into 132, 2, 4, 6, 8 times, and 8 times 15 is 120. So I'm going to take that away, leaving me with 12. I would still then have to add my decimal point, and my 0. And then I can bring my 0 down because 15 won't go into 12. And 15 goes into 128 times. 8 times 15 is 120. Take that away, and we end up with 0. Okay, the other thing I'm going to show you with this here is I'm going to show you how you can divide by factors. If you're dealing with a two-digit number outside of your times tables knowledge, and you find that dividing by numbers outside of your times table knowledge intimidating or difficult, remember you can split them down into two single-digit factors. So, for example, with 15, we could split 15 into 3 and 5, because 3 times 5 is 15. So we can now take our single digits and we're going to divide. So if I write the 432, as we have before, put it inside the bus stop, and it doesn't matter which order you do this in, but I'm going to divide by 5 first of all. So I'm dividing by 5, and 5 goes into 43 8 times and carry 3 across. 5 goes into 32 6 times. I'm going to need a decimal point in the 0 because I've got 2 to carry across. 5 goes into 24 times. So that gives me 86.4, which I'm now going to divide by 3. And 3 goes into 8 twice, carry 2 across. 3 goes into 26 8 times with 2 remainder. And 3 goes into 24 8 times. So as you can see, using all 3 methods, we come up with exactly the same answer, but you can choose the method which suits you best. Now, when dividing by 11, 11 is a prime number, so you can't split it into factors. You would have to divide by 11. I'm going to demo that now using both short and long division just to reinforce those methods. So we've got 693 divided by 11. So 11 goes into 69 6 times, and we would carry 6 across. Not carry 6 across, sorry, carry 3 across, because 6 times 11 is 66. And 11 goes into 33 3 times, giving us 63. Now 11's within our times tables, so we don't need to worry about getting going into factors anyway. Now we're going to go and have a look at how to divide by a decimal. Now, the way that I would always teach this is don't. You can divide by decimals, of course you can, but it's much, much easier if you make them into whole numbers. And obviously with our number being a decimal number system, you can just times by 10, 100 or 1,000 to make your decimal into a whole number. So if we do 0.8, to make that into 8, I would times by 10. But if you times by 10 on this side, you must times by 10 on this side. So 512 times 10 would become 5,120, and 0.8 is becoming 8. So now we can do 5,120 divided by 8. 8 goes into 51 6 times, and we carry 3 across. 8 goes into 32 4 times, and 8 goes into 0 0 times. This answer here will be the same as this answer here, because we scaled both sides of the equation up in the same way. The answer to 512 divided by 0.8 is also 640. So there's no need to adjust back the other way. So long as you adjust both sides at the start, your answer will be the same to your new sum as it was to the original sum. Going on to the final area we're going to look at today, we have 5 divided by 8. So in this instance, you are dividing a smaller number by a bigger number. Up until year 5, you probably will never have experienced that. You will always have divided bigger numbers by smaller numbers. So sometimes people think it's impossible. It isn't. It just means that your answer will be less than 1. Okay, so set it up in exactly the same way, but you are going to need a decimal point, and you are going to need zeros for carrying from the outset. So it is 5 divided by 8. Now 8 will not go into 5, so we're going to add a decimal point here, and I always add 3 zeros because generally that is enough. Sometimes you'll need less, sometimes you might need more, but the question should give you some sort of guidance if that's the case. Now 8 does not go into 5, so we're going to carry 5 across. 8 goes into 50 6 times with a remainder of 2. 8 goes into 20 twice with a remainder of 4. And 8 goes into 45 times. So 5 divided by 8, which is the same as 5/8, is 0.625. I'll demo this using long division method as well. It's exactly the same setup, 5.000. We're dividing by 8. 8 will not go into 5. So we're going to now look at 50. 8 goes into 50 6 times. 6 times 8 is 48. So we're going to subtract that from the 50, leaving us with 2. We're going to bring down the 0. 8 goes into 20 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. Take that away, that leaves us with 4. We're going to bring down the 0. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. Take that away, and we're left with 0. So exactly the same answer, exactly the same method. I hope you found this video useful.